Anyway, thank you everybody for if you watched any of those two reactions. I really appreciate it. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk. First things first, I want to say, but before I get into the other stuff, I'll say this. Parity exists in women's college basketball once a game. Now, if people be like, oh, there's never parity, and when I say people, I mean like a couple folks that I've talked to or whatever. I don't want to exaggerate and say people when I just mean like the two people I've talked to about this. But you know, some folks will be like, oh, it ain't no parity if Stanford and South Carolina and the juggernauts are still in the... Ain't no one saw this coming. I don't care what you say. Ain't no one saw Iowa and LSU in the championship game at the beginning of the season. Ain't no one saw that coming. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you is. I don't care if you the biggest Caitlin Clark. I don't care if you Kurt Johnson. I don't care if you Flajay Johnson's mama. Ain't nobody saw LSU versus Iowa in the championship game. So I want to say that first. Second thing I want to say, and this is probably going to be like the title of the video. Whatever. I was wrong. It takes a real man to admit when he was wrong. It takes a real woman to admit when she was wrong. It takes a real person of any gender, non-binary, so it's 2023, to admit when they were wrong. I was wrong. It is what it is, man. I had South Carolina going all the way. I had them beating UConn in the final. That did not happen. I didn't think I thought Caitlin Clark with Iowa, they've been trying to run it back for the past 3 years with the same roster. They've had the same results the last 2 seasons where they're pretty good enough in the regular season. In the postseason, Caitlin can only do so much, and it's eventually the gas is going to run out. The gas tank is going to run out in the tournament in the second or third round. She's a Sweet 16 type of player, maybe Elite 8 if she goes on a magical run like Steph Curry at Davidson. I was wrong. LSU. Hold on. LSU, I want to say first, I was on LSU at the beginning of the season. I tried to tell y'all about LSU. Still, I let the outside voices influence me when I was picking my bracket. Oh, they still didn't play nobody when they played somebody. They didn't look good. And I was there to see that in person. Link to that vlog, I don't know. Just find it on the channel. I don't want to promise that I'll put it at the end. Excuse me. But I fell into the noise. I gave LSU. I put a ceiling on LSU. Flajay's uncle told me. National championship as a freshman. You heard it here first. Flajay told me herself. Well, she didn't tell me they were going to the national championship this year. She said we're going to be good though. And I was like, y'all got Angel, right? And y'all got so-and-so? She was like, yeah. I was still wrong. I put a cap on LSU and what they can accomplish this particular season before, Williams and everything comes into the fold next season. I was wrong. And then another person. Oh, wait, hold on. So now we're pivoting, just so you know, because I'm going to cover a wide range of topics in this video, just to catch up. I haven't talked to y'all in a while. I have this person. Let me see if I could pull them up. But I have this user who's been going on like my old videos for the past. Here we go. Love me or let me leave. Yes, love me or let me leave. They've been going through my videos for the past month and telling me about how I was wrong about I didn't like the fact that the Atlanta Dream traded up for Rhyne Howard last year in last year's draft because, leading up, you waited another year or so and stuff, and you got the class of 2024, which everybody is still talking about, especially now with this entire NIL thing and COVID 5th year of eligibility. If a lot of the top players should just come back and make more money in college than they're going to make in the pros. So, I said, why don't you just kind of, instead of making an aggressive move to trade up and use your assets for Rhyne Howard, who was great and a good player as she was and projected pick, number 1 pick the year before when she decided to come back to school herself at Kentucky. Why not kind of be really bad blow it up post Kennedy Carter era, be really bad, and just put your names in the hat for this generational draft in 2024 with Paige Beckers, with Caitlin Clark, with Haley Van Lith, or, try to build around the Leah Boston for 2023. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, why don't you just wait to get one of those instead of, going for the Ryan Howard thing right now? And they bring it up and they say, you were so wrong about Ryan Howard and this and that and this and that. And I ignored it for a large part because it was like, I always gave Ryan Howard her props. Even then when I was like, I don't know if he would do this for Ryan Howard, I still was like, Ryan Howard's a great player. She was the number 1 pick last year and she decided to come back. And, spoke to Ryan, everything like that. Gave her nothing but flowers. First person to bring up all the accomplishments and stuff like that. So I don't know why this person keeps coming back to me. I don't know if it's because, like, it's someone behind a burner and they're looking for, some motivation or whatever, some criticism that's not there to go prove out something. But I don't hate. But anyways, I guess regardless to that, seeing what we're seeing now, I didn't know Paige Beckers was going to get hurt pushing back when she goes to the league another year. And I didn't know I didn't consider the fact that, NIL could get so crazy that Aaliyah Boston has a legitimate chance of considering returning for a 5th year just to make more money, even as the surefire number 1 pick. So I didn't, have all of this in perspective. Also the big from Kansas State, I didn't know that she would get hurt and stuff like that. That wasn't, what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things I didn't know last year about this year's draft. A lot of stuff has just changed in this year's draft. JC Selden's coming back for another year. I don't know what Horson's doing. She had like the longest thing. I couldn't even zoom in and read what she was doing. I mean, Diamond Miller's in it this year, and Haley Jones is in. So those are kind of like the 2 big ones in the draft right now. But I don't know. I didn't know about having Ryan Howard, especially when you had Tiffany Hayes in the fold and stuff like that in Atlanta, and they added on AD later on and stuff like that. I just didn't know. I didn't know if you wanted to put all your kind of chips in on that when you could have got a Shakira Austin or, like played it safer, been really bad, because now with Ryan, they overachieved. They like doubled last year's winning total and stuff like that, or they, I think, might even pass double that and stuff. I don't know. Did they win 16 games last season? I can't remember. Let me look this up. This is why we have Google, people. 2022. Let me see. Did they win 16 games? Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Bear with me. No, they didn't win 16 games. So they didn't double last year's win total. But they were pretty close. They had 14 wins. 6-game improvement from the 8-24 record they had the year before and stuff like that. And everything was blowing up. But the roster just looks like the dream franchise just looks like it's in a better place. And then also, here's another thing. I said this. I just remembered I said this. Right after the draft, I said I didn't like the Atlanta Dream trading up and making an aggressive move and using your assets for Ryan Howard when you can wait for a Paige Baker, so-and-so. But then after the draft, when Naz Hillman fell to 15, I was like, at first I wasn't behind it. But now I'm 100% behind it, because you got Naz Hillman in the package too. And with that makes them the winners of the draft. I did this big thing after the draft. So like that just furthermore proves anything. Anyways, excuse me. Knowing what we know now about the 2003 WNBA draft, the uncertainty of it, of the players coming back and stuff like that, and Paige Beckers getting hurt, and the center from Kansas State getting hurt and staying an extra year now. All these things that we know now about what we know. And it was the right move that the Dream made to go win now and go all in with the chips now instead of playing the passive and waiting to see what happens in a couple years by getting Ryan Howard last year and training up for it. So salute. All right, here we go. Another thing. Candace Parker video. Obviously, that's probably my most kind of discussed one or whatever of the offseason. Talking about Candace. So, I called her a ring chaser. I thought it was a weak move. I called it this and that. She goes on the Draymond Green show. She makes a very valid point. she says like, so the facilities with the Las Vegas Aces, this is the first time in her career she's gonna have her own locker with her name on it, and it's gonna remain there. Like, it's not gonna be switched out and stuff like that between games. She's gonna have a facility, practice facility, where she can go in the middle of the night, just get up shots. She's never had that ability to do that, and she's one of the names that helped build up the WNBA. I said, that's a great point, Candace Parker. Those are great points. You know what I'm saying? My problem, if you say something like that, is like, when people, why aren't people just honest from the jump? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have these kind of press release answers and stuff like that, or with the announcement of like, yeah, I'm doing this for A, B, and C. And if it don't have, you know what I'm saying, that might be a part of it, but you're not saying the real reason. It's like with oh, here we go. I might as well do it. This is a sports channel, but we'll do it. But it's like with dating. If someone is like, oh no, like, I just wasn't feeling this way because I ate, you know, and they like kind of point through the sky and purple and blue things, and you all know the reason. Like, the reason is very simple. Sometimes it's like, man, like, I just wanted someone like this. I wanted someone like this. Wanted someone with waves. I wanted someone with dreadlocks. Someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, the answer is very simple, but they'll give you the runaround and every other reason, which might have something to do with it, but it's not the actual reason. So like, that's the problem I had with, you kind of opening that up on the Draymond Green show, because it's like, if this is the real reason you wanted to do this and you wanted to end your career, kind of like living the quote unquote soft life, and soft life is not a dig, because I know some of y'all might not be aware. Soft life is this thing on like TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, where you're pretty much just living a comfortable life. You're not grinding. You're not a product of capitalism, imperialism, all that authoritarianism, all that good stuff, all that bad stuff. You're not kind of victim to that. You know what I'm saying? And you're in the grind of the rat race, and you're trying to, I gotta get money. You're just like kind of living a calm life with no regrets and stuff like that and everything like that. So that's the soft life. So that's essentially what Candace said she wanted to kind of ride off into the sunset for, after grinding and working her butt off her entire career and winning 2 rings, one for the team that drafted her and one for our hometown team. Now, so all that being said, why don't you just say that in the you know what I'm saying, in the announcement? Why don't you just say that in the announcement, bro? Because it's like, De'Erica got traded. De'Erica was mad. De'Erica had the press release with 3 pages. First page, what was the first page? I think it was like, thank you, Las Vegas. I love you guys. This is where I learned. I'm excited to get. And then the second page was like, however, this is really what I feel. And she was upset that they traded her while she was pregnant, after saying, we won't trade you, blah, 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 and we're going to do this for you, blah, blah, blah. And then the third page, I'm excited to get to Los Angeles Sparks. I appreciate that. Just put out the truth first. You know what I'm saying? Don't put out a press release. A thing that kind of irritates me about kind of being in media, being on the other side, because a lot of people talk about their icks with the media. You know what I'm saying, as like consumers or just the athletes or the subjects that the media is talking about themselves or covering themselves, is like, you present something to the media, you present something to the public, and the people in the media report or react to what you put out to the world, and then you get mad and say you don't know the full story. Put out the full story then. Put out the full story. So it's like, when you put out more of the story of the actual reason why you made this move to the Las Vegas Aces to end your career, I'm like, you know what? I can respect that. I can respect it. And you know what I'm saying? And that makes much more sense than what it just looked like on paper, where you gave kind of BS, to keep it a buck, BS reason 1, 2, 3, 4, and you acknowledge everything except for the fact that you joined in the starting lineup with 4 other All-Stars. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. Just tell the real reason, bruh. I don't like when people sugarcoat things and people go around and dance around the answer because they don't want to hurt someone's feelings or this. Just be straight up, bruh. That's one of my pet peeves. So, there's that with Candace Parker. So that was me saying I was wrong about Candace Parker. I was wrong about Candace Parker saying this a weak ring chasing move. It was something much deeper, and I'm glad she eventually told it. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to say I was wrong about what I said about Candace Parker, it being a weak move, a ring chasing move, etc., whatever I said. You watch the video. So that's how I feel. Deni Avdija. Deni Avdija's been hooping lately. He had like 25 and stuff like that. A couple nights ago, career high. It's funny, Spencer Dinwiddie, like after getting traded a couple times, he's like, yeah, man, Deni was supposed to be like Luka. It's like, bruh, come on, bruh. Like, every young European dude ain't gonna be Luka Doncic, bruh. Like, he's not about to be one of the best players in the league and generational, everything else they call Luka, blah, blah, blah. But Deni's a good player, bro. And he's someone I follow, you know what I'm saying, since pre-draft. And he's always been a decent player, you know, so for him to get more touches and kind of get more involved in the offense and do what he's doing for Washington, I don't know, I'm proud of him. And I'm happy for Deni. And I'm proud of Flage. I don't even know if I got to this. Yeah, I haven't. Man, we have so much to talk about. I'm proud of Flage and what she's accomplished this season. And that's just, man, that shows you the power of, A, putting in the work, but B, the power of believing in yourself, speaking it to existence, manifestation, and having faith. You know what I'm saying? These were all things that the people around Flage said she was going to accomplish. These are the things that Flage herself, she was going to accomplish and get done and everything like that. Become freshman of the year. Do this. Lead LSU to this game. Her family members, you guys seen it on the channel. Like, I'm not making any of this up. All this stuff, my interview with Flage when she was in high school is on the channel. You can look that up. You can scroll down a year and see that interview. She's talking about the stuff that she's doing now that she wants to do in the future. You can see at the LSU South Carolina vlog when I'm in Columbia, South Carolina, where I'm talking to the uncle and he says she's going to make it to the national championship. She's going to drop this many points. She's the freshman of the year. She's going to do this. You can see that on this channel a couple weeks ago. So just to see manifestation, faith mixed in with hard work. The girl works hard, bro. So to see her do what she did this season after said she was going to do it, and the job's not finished. You still got one more game, but I'm so proud of Flage Johnson, man. And I know a bunch of you guys are as well, for the people who have watched her from the rap game and America's Got Talent and stuff like that, and follow the longer journey. Rest in peace, Camouflage. I know he is too proud each and every single day of you and what you are doing and what you are accomplishing. Angel Reese, I'm so proud of you as well. LaDeja, and like I said, Double Nickels as well, bro. Let me get your name, dog. Because like I said, that last game made me a dang fan of yours. You are a dog as well. You cold, bro. Pool. Katari Pool. Yo, she's it too. You know, so salute to her for sure. She cold. But Angel Reese, for you to prove the critics wrong like you have, you know, even transferring from Maryland, players can't stand, a lot of people were saying stuff about the players in the transfer portal, especially the Maryland players when Bibby left and Owusu left, which we're going to get to. And then Reese, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people were saying a lot of things about the Maryland players and just players in general running from the grind, quote unquote, going to the transfer portal. I ain't forget. People were denying what Angel Reese was doing and downplaying what she was doing because they were playing Midwestern Missouri Tech Community College in the first couple games, and she was getting 30 and 20 back then. I did not forget. People tried to discredit her journey throughout the entire season from the time she announced she was transferring from Maryland to LSU. She just kept balling. She just kept showing up. And now she's in the national championship game. Congrats to Angel Reese. 24 and 12 last night. LaDeja Williams, 16 and 7 last night. Huge. Alexis Morris, for you, what you have done, getting kicked off the team, reconnecting with Kim Mulkey at a different school, at a different program, keeping your head up, staying in there, everything like that. 27 points last night, giving you your flowers as well, man. And Flage, for you to do what you did, I already shouted out the non kind of basketball stuff, but on the court, going from where you were at Sprayberry as a person with the ball in your hands at all times and dictating the offense and being the scorer, kind of being the flashy player, and having to buy into a program, a team, a system. You can go out there and do exactly what you did in high school and be the coolest player in the country and this and that and this and that. But you bought into basketball and a system and a team. And you helped that team get to the national championship game because you played into your role. You're rebounding the ball. You're playing defense. You're making the right plays and the right decisions on offense. These are the things that don't necessarily always show up on the stat sheet, but you're doing it for the greater good of the team. And that is why LSU is in the championship game. So congratulations and salute to you, Avdija. I see it. You're sacrificing for the team. You know what I'm saying? You can do everything you did in them Sprayberry highlights. Y'all can watch that as well too. But you're buying in, so I'm proud of you. Yes. Owusu. Ashley Owusu, one of the top players in the ACC, one of the best scorers in the country at Maryland. Her first couple years, she transfers to Virginia Tech, just really close to home. And minutes kind of drift away as the season goes on, and it goes to the point where she wasn't even on the bench at the end of the game last night. And then people were tweeting about it. Angel tweeted about it, and Trailer quote tweeted, and she was like, "Did you check the LSU bench?" And it's like, why would you call this out? And then Owusu's dad came in and said, what about the coach picking favorites and having a group chat of just 7 players of the rotation? What's going on over there at Virginia Tech? I don't know what's going on with Ashley Owusu. I don't know what's going on with her personal life and stuff like that. I don't know if it's something, but these have been a rough couple of seasons for her. Just with the allegations of what Brenda Freeze and the type of environment, and some people don't like it or whatever in Maryland and stuff like that in College Park. Versus, what Dad is saying right now about Virginia Tech's coaching, Virginia Tech culture, and what Trailer has tweeted out loud. It's been a couple years for her. I hope she can find the right program, the right fit, that's just going to welcome her with open arms and be loving to her, and also help develop her as a talent as well, because she's a special talent. I mean, we saw it. Like, it wasn't no fluke. It was 2 seasons. If it was 1 season, I'd be like, it could have been a fluke. But it was 2 seasons. So she's an absolute baller. And I wish the best for Ashley Owusu moving forward. Okay, now I think this is the final topic of the video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Comment Penguin. Comment Penguin. If you don't know how to spell penguin, I believe it's Penguin. All right. South Carolina, man. South Carolina. I have to talk about South Carolina. Chris Williamson made a great TikTok pointing out the disparage and the coverage of how, Iowa's coach, Lisa Blunder, I believe it was Lisa Blunder, right, who said the bar fight thing before the game on Zoom. And I'm saying, it was Lisa. So it could be seen as, people are saying how people talk about how South Carolina plays. I was part of it when I was talking about the LSU game. When I said Leah Boston's just so dominant, man, powerful, strong, bro. You can't stop her until they do the big brute stereotypes and kind of things that black people deal with. All that stuff goes back to the 40s, the 50s, and everything with media. So that's why people, if you might see it from the outside looking in, people are overreacting with this. This stuff goes back decades, where this stuff was actual minstrel shows and all these things where black people, it was an actual thing. So it was so when you see people overreact or something on this, it's a history behind it, and people pass down that trauma and those feelings in their system and their bodies and their emotions for years and generations and generations. So I think the concerns and the comments are fair from Dawn Staley after the game when she said, people bar fight or call us gorillas and this and that, and we're physical and tough and da-da-da. When, Mark Schneider, Mark Schneider put out a great thread of, they just play smart basketball. We have to watch the words we choose. We have to watch the images we portray. Ari Chambers also pointed that out. When Zaya was crying on the court into her jersey, Leah's like, yo, you can't be crying right now because the cameras are in her face and they're going to be using that, for future South Carolina seasons and everything. You don't want that to kind of be your legacy or whatever. So let's get back on here. And Leah was crying in the post game and told him, please don't use this video of me crying. Don't do this. Give it in. And just being, just careful with the images and words that we use and portray for these players. I'm 100% behind it. We all have to do a better job. We all have to be conscious about it. And it just can be a natural thing. A lot of times it's unintentional just because of the stuff we're taught and a lot of the stuff that we have rooted within that's just from, you know, the images we've been pushed and taught growing up and stuff. So a lot of it is stuff that we don't recognize, but just because we didn't recognize it doesn't mean that we can't acknowledge it, correct it, and move better in the future. So that's what I have to say. South Carolina, amazing season in the midst of a bunch of parity and upsets and everything like that. You guys almost made it all the way to the semifinal game, but March Madness saves no one. And this year was truly March Madness. I think it's great for the game. I think it's great for basketball, and I'm glad that people can see not just the large names, but some of the other players as well in this time. With these kind of two unexpected programs being in the national championship game. So that's all. That's it. That's all I have to say. My name's Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 5K subs. Please, as always, take care of yourselves. I care for you guys, and I want you guys to be safe. I'm so glad to be doing a video like this. I feel so free. This is probably like a 30-minute like talking video after 20 minutes of reactions and stuff like that. But I've wanted to do this for so long, of just speaking to you guys again about hoop, about ball, like the old days. And it's been a tough season for me, like, or, you know, in my personal life and stuff like that. So like, I'm just so glad that I was able to do this. I feel relieved, and I'm very happy to do this. There's not much, I don't think there's anything else I'd rather be doing in this particular moment. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all don't know how much y'all mean to me. It's the Road to 5K subs. Thank you for being patient with me and stuff like that through my inconsistencies. And yeah, enjoy this game. I guess we'll be back after the national championship game to talk about that. Till next time. Peace.
Let's get it. Hop off a 16 passenger. This a G5, no, this not a Challenger. Big one.